Okay, everybody, I'm a Sesame Street learner, so if the lectures made sense for you, good for you, but for me, the lectures really didn't make much sense, and this is how I break it down. So if it works for you, fabulous. If you'd like me to get more in depth or add something else, let me know. But I thought I'd just film this real quick. So, when you look at heart murmurs, it's normally going to be atrial mitral. So the two heart valves that tend to have problems are your atrial and mitral. Now you have regurg and stenosis. Regurg is when the vessel or the valve is closed and it's going backwards, right? The blood's going backwards. Stenosis is when the valve's open, but it's, hard and therefore it's making noise. So, an atrium, when is the atrium open? The atrial valve is open during systole. The mitral valve is open during diastole. So if you have an atrial regurgitation, that's when it's closed. That's going to be a diastolic murmur. And if you have an atrial stenosis, that's when it's open. That's going to be a systolic murmur. Mitral regurg, right? That's when it's closed. It's closed in systole, so it's a systolic murmur. Mitral stenosis is when it's open, so it's a diastole murmur. So your systolic murmur is going to be S1, murmur S2, and your diastolic murmur is going to be S1, S2, and murmur. So here's what I remember. Only systolic rhythm or only systolic murmurs radiate. So if you have it radiating to the neck, you know it's going to be atrial. Why? Because all patients usually take meds, right? That's the placement of the heart of where it goes. So what we have to think about is what is the systole murmur. So we know it's atrial going to the neck. We know it's atrial. And I said it's a systolic murmur, so it's open, so it would be atrial stenosis. Your mitral tend to go to your armpits, and if you do, all patient usually takes meds as your location of where you listen on your heart. Your mitral valve is down here to the left-hand side, okay? So, which one is it going to be? Well, we know that systolic murmurs are the only ones that radiate, so it's going to be closed. So it's going to be mitral regurg, and that's pretty much it. The next thing to know is diastolic equals doom. Okay, so diastolic equals doom. So if you have a diastolic murmur, you need to refer them diastolic equals doom. The next thing I'm going to talk about is right bundle branch blocks, left bundle branch blocks, and axial deviation. All right, so first we have our right bundle branch block versus our left bundle branch block. Okay, so you know it's a bundle branch block because it's greater than 0.12. So if your QRS is greater than 0.12, you know you have a bundle branch block. And here you're going to need to look in lead 5. All right, so look into lead 5, right? Lead 5. If it is going up, right? If my QRS is greater than 0.12 and my QRS is predominantly going up, so let's say in like lead 1, if it looks, V1 looks like lead 1, it's going up, therefore it's a right bundle branch block. Think of it like a turn signal. If I'm going to turn right, I'm going to flip the turn signal up, it's a right bundle branch block. If it's a left, think of a turn signal, I'm going to flip it down, it's a left bundle branch block. So if it's a left bundle branch block, it's going to have a QRS that's greater than 0.12, and it's going to predominantly go down. So it's going to predominantly look like AVR type of thing. But you only need to look at V1. Okay, so the only lead that you need to look at is V1. That is why when you go to telemetry or anywhere and you're setting your monitors, they make you have lead 2 and V1. Lead 2 is the easiest to read. V1 is how you tell your blocks. So, your axial deviation. So, the thing that you need to remember is it goes towards, the electricity goes away from ischemia. So, it goes away from ischemia, it goes towards like hardness, like calcification, growth, things like that. So what I do is I take a heart, and I put a nice fancy heart here, but like when I do it in real life, to be honest, I just make a heart and draw 2 lines. If you look at where your leads are going, lead 1 is over here, right? It goes across, it goes over here, and lead VF goes down. And how I remember that is VF, F equals foot, foot goes down. So the correct form of electricity is going to be from your AV node straight down to contract the ventricles. That's what it's going to do. All right? So for your axial deviations, you need to look at two things. You need to look at lead 1, and you need to look at VF. All right? Those are the two ones you need to look at, is lead 1 and VF. Why? One goes this way, VF goes down. So our first one, is the QRS going up in lead 1? Yes, that means it's going towards the lead 1. I know it's going towards the lead 1. And then the VF, is it predominantly going up or down? It's predominantly going up. So it's going towards the VF. So therefore, I'm in here. I'm in a normal. There is no axial deviation. I am a normal. If I end up like straight across in here, this is bad. All right, you need to consult cardiology because this is bad. This is a really bad axial deviation. Most likely, you need to consult cardiology because they got to start some meds. But let's say we're doing this and your lead 1 looks like VR. Okay, so let's say your lead 1 looks like VR. That is going down. So is that going towards? No, it's going away, right? It's going away. So we know that it's going this way, right? It's either going to be up or down. It's going this way. And let's say our VF looks like also like VR. Let's say it's going down. Then we know that this one's also or going towards, so it's up. So let's say VF is the same. So VF is the same. So you're going to go towards this one and away to this one means you're right here. This is a right axial deviation. So right here is a right axial deviation. If I end up here, it's a left axial deviation. So it's kind of a little confusing because I only put one EKG here. But to make it more simple for you, all you need to know is lead 1 and lead VF. Lead 1 is here, VF is here, and then draw your arrows. If it's going up, it's going towards that way. So if lead 1 is going up, it's going towards lead 1. If lead 1 is going down, it's going way down, away from V1. Same thing with VF. If it's positive, it's going down terms of VF. If it's away, if it's going to be a negative, then it's going to go up, away from VF. And that's basically it. Let me know if you have any questions if this helped, and I am happy to